My name is Brian Davis. I was a punk in the 1980s, and this is my take on punks in film.
The Return of the Living Dead, 1985.
Despite a rad movie poster and a soundtrack that featured 45 Grave, TSOL, The Cramps, The Damned, Straw Dogs, and The Flesh Eaters, this comic bookish cult classic depicted punks as moronic, nihilistic exhibitionists. Granted, it is a horror comedy, so exaggeration is part of its appeal, but the cartoonish punk stereotypes presented here were already well worn on TV dramas of the day. And the punky leads of Suicide, played by the late Mark Venturini, and Trash, played by B-movie scream queen Linnea Quigley, who gets turned on by death and dances naked in a graveyard, were hardly rebel role models. Apparently Quigley wore a featureless Barbie doll prosthetic over her crotch because a producer felt that the full frontal nudity was too shocking. But what is truly shocking is the number of people who still refer to this horror spoof as a punk rock classic. I think those folks need more brains.
Sid and Nancy, 1986.
From the director of Repo Man, this biopic of drug-addled Sex Pistols, Sid Vicious, and his obnoxiously loud girlfriend, Nancy Spungen, is literally doomed from the start. Pieced together from various accounts, it's hard to know what is fact versus fiction. And some obvious details, like Sid's infamous swastika shirt being replaced by a less offensive hammer and sickle tee, really makes you wonder how accurate it all is. A lot has been made of Gary Oldman's performance as Sid, who turned down the role twice out of disinterest, but the real standout performances come from Chloe Webb as the truly manic Nancy, and David Heyman as a cold and calculating Malcolm McLaren, the Sex Pistols manager. Once the music stops, as Sid can barely stand, let alone perform, due to his heroin addiction, the third act is a slow crawl, with an artistic ending that makes the entire spectacle seem surreal and pointless. A dismal circus, albeit well acted, that by the end leaves you as cold as its two main characters. Some quick titles of note.
Class of 1984.
This 1982 crime thriller is so bad, it's almost good. I hated it when it came out, but now I can enjoy it for what it is. Teenage exploitation fodder that is often over the top and unintentionally funny.
The Warriors.
For a better flick in the same genre, check out this 1979 cult classic. Shot on the streets of New York, it featured actual gang members along with the cast. There's also a gang in the film called The Punks.
The Clockwork Orange.
Stanley Kubrick's dystopian epic from 1972, based on the novel by Anthony Burgess, really has no equal. A cinematic masterpiece, replete with social commentary, gratuitous nudity, by 70s standards, and a bit of the old ultra-violence. Okay, that's the rundown. Thanks for watching. Now stay tuned and subscribe for a deep dive on Suburbia.